graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story.
Long live the fighters!
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, Project Storytime, Jester of Sin. Lady Mist, the Guardian of the Void, is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Rambling Canuck, good morning, my brother. Purple Valkyrie, good morning. Mark the Infinitely Tired. Chris Persia, good morning. Wrenches, good morning, team. Gun Bunny, Eric O'Sullivan, good morning. Philip A. Demick, Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely Roll Tide, Sit Room, good morning, brother. Mary's Game Room is here. Rambling Canuck, the Catman, aka D.D. Myers, good morning. Good morning, Heiress of Chaos, Trinoculus P. Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a great morning. And right off the back, what is this crazy fool doing? Valliant Renegade has a body pillow of my belly. And speaking of Valiant, true. I got him right on the true.
Yeah,
right?
true.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I am wonderful. Good morning, Loki, and good morning to everyone out there in Valhalla.
We are pumped full of energy this morning. This is how we kick off the day here in Valhalla. It's so good to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me. It's very kind of you, and happy to be here, guys and gals.
And gals. We got a bunch of gals out there this morning. And a $5 super chat from Heiress of Chaos. It is a Yorkie saying hiya. Good morning, Heiress. And for Fat Steven also, this one is for you guys. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. You may have heard, Valiant, that people keep the fires burning bright in Echo Base. Someone stole that. That bastard coach stole that from me. So
I will have to remind him of that today.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's like, you know, the first time I heard coach, I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's my line, you son of a bitch. Oh, so me and Valiant met over at over at Echo Base Network. Of course, our brothers, Coach and Nick, run Echo Base Network, and that's where I ran into Valliant. I was like, "Who is this guy, Valliant Renegade? I've got to have a conversation with him at some point." And Adega Outlaw said, "Welcome to Valhalla."
Thank you,
Valliant
sir.
Renegade. Thank you so much for that super chat, Adega Outlaw, brother. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
So let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this. What brought you to YouTube? Was it the fandom? Was it Echo Base? What brought you to YouTube?
I don't know if there was any one thing in particular. I had like everybody else out there, like everybody watching, I'm just a regular guy. I've got a day job, I've got a family, and I'm just a regular guy, and I've watched different channels on YouTube for, oh Lord, some cases, some of them might have been 6 months, some of them might have been 3 months, a year. And I said, these guys are having fun. I was getting sick of watching pop culture icons and the stuff that I grew up with kind of just continuously getting trashed, continuously getting burnt to the ground by modern Hollywood, modern politics. Yeah, I guess you could say kind of the fandom in the broad sense, not just something like Star Wars, but for a lot of things. And I said, you know what? Apparently there's a lot of guys out there like me on YouTube. They're not all 15-year-olds playing video games and 20-year-olds and stuff like this. There's guys our age on there. I'm in my 40s, and they're having fun. And I said, you know what, I can do this. I've got backgrounds in photography and doing video work and stuff like this. It's kind of a second job that I love. And I said, I've got all the stuff sitting right here to do this. This is really no effort. So I'm going to jump in. These guys are having fun. I want to go have fun too. So here I am.
Heck yeah, and yeah, that was pretty much the way it worked for me too. I had all the stuff. I had the computer. I had the microphone. I had the stuff to go live. So why not go live? I kept, and the first time I went live, what a way to start was on Friday Night Frolics one night. Doomcock invited me on Friday Night Frolics, and I was like, okay. I've done a couple of videos. I know what I'm doing, and I was so nervous, dude. And I couldn't get logged in. It kept saying I had a camera, and I was like, I don't got no damn camera. What the hell are you talking about? Well, it was my VR helmet that I had hooked up for Elite Dangerous. And so I'm like pulling shit out of the back of my computer trying to get on. I get on, and then he has, I don't know if you know Abunas. If you've ever watched Abunas.
Oh, on the Dark Council?
Dark Council, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And Abunas and Doomcock's like, okay, Abunas, we're gonna bring you on, and then we'll bring Loki on. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I got this. I've got my stick down. I'm the mouthy hothead. And Abunas goes on, and he's like, hey, yo, fandom, I'm gonna break it down for you. And he starts like rapping, and everybody's like, Abunas, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, I'm not ready. I am not ready.
You get to follow that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess the first live stream I actually went on probably was, it's Echo Base. It had to have been Echo Base doing one of the, I guess, pop-ins at the end. And it was kind of the same thing. I had cut videos. I had been doing things on YouTube. I think my first video on YouTube was either like January 31st or February 1st, just a couple of months ago. And, and then I think a couple of weeks after that, you got in touch with actually Mexican Iron Man reached out to me, and we started talking, and then wound up showing up on Echo Base here and there. Did a couple of videos with Coach as a sidekick when Nick was out, and just been having fun. And I got in like a week or two before the whole Gina Carano thing blew up. So it was impeccable timing on my part, I guess. But all of a sudden, I went from thinking, okay, I might put out one video a week. I don't have a lot of time, but I'll have fun if something comes up, to where the Gina Carano thing happens. And all of a sudden I think I had 5 or 6 bang, 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 back to back. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So such is the how YouTube rolls sometimes, I guess, but it's been fun to be here.
It is. And as long as you're having fun, I tell people that all the time and they never listen. They come back and they're like, Loki, you told me to live stream and it sucks. I'm like, well, man, dude, if you're having fun, that's the whole point. If you're not having fun, maybe this isn't for you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But you got to have fun. This is a fun thing, man. This is one of the funnest jobs you could have. It's like I talk to people all the time. Oh, the headache and the numbers, and you got to constantly want. No. You have fun.
Mm-hmm.
What other job could you get that you could go on every morning and be like, greetings and talk about pop culture, man? I get to talk about comics. I get to talk about movies, even though Hollywood sucks. I get to talk about all these cool topics, and I get to spread the word about independence. Independent content creators, people making comic books, people making fan films. That is so fun. It just that's never going to get old. It's the funnest job you could have. So if you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong.
Oh, I would totally agree with that. And it's funny, and that's kind of the attitude I had going into this. And I asked a lot of other folks, about that. I mentioned something, private DMs to guys like Gary at Nerdrotic and Doomcock and even Coach and Nick and a bunch of other folks. And they really all said the same thing. He said, if you're going to get in, just get in to have fun. And I said, well, I'm not here to make, big YouTube money. My 9-year-old thinks that he can start a YouTube channel and play Roblox on there all day long and he'll make $1 million a year by next Tuesday. So, he's got that attitude. And he keeps swearing, oh yeah, I know this kid, his little brother's on here and he makes $2 million a year on YouTube. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I said, no, I got in here to have fun. And at the end of the day, I think that's what's keeping it interesting, because I think if people think if you get into something like this, well, I'm going to make money, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I don't think you'll ever get there, because you're not going to have fun. If you treat this like a constant business, and I realize there's some people out there that do this as a full-time gig, and I have a ton of respect for them. But I think for most of us out there, if we're going to get involved in something like this, you have to do it to have fun, and you have to do it, talking about things that you have a passion for. And the channels that I typically follow, like you, Loki, I mean, we all have a passion for the same thing. It's for the pop cultures, the movies. It's trying to get pop culture back to just some type of common sense to where, hey, can we actually make a movie or a TV show that doesn't suck? I mean, that'd be great. That's where I'm at. So that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, Chinook USP with a $5 super chat says, can we hear our guest say, that's right, folks, don't touch that dial?
All right. So for the $5, here we go. That's right, folks. Stay tuned and don't touch that dial.
Skull! That's right, folks. We are burning it down this morning with Valliant Renegade. And Bright as Day says we're here to put our thoughts and love of fandoms out into the ether. Whatever happens after that happens. That's right. That's right. I got into this doing the morning show. Do you guys think that I was like, okay, I'm my first show, I'm going to do this, pay me? No, I did the show for almost a year and I didn't make a dime. I'm making a dime now because you guys are very generous, and I try and do the best morning show I can possibly do and have fun and bring, characters on here like Valliant to talk to, and Valliant, and Robert Meyer Burnett, and I think I've gotten Coach on here once. Usually though, he's like, Loki, I'm not awake yet, Loki. I can't come on. Nick's like, Coach, I haven't gone to bed yet.
I guess Coach, I would think Coach would have early days because I know he's a teacher. So, I would think he would usually be up. Maybe not.
People tell me rant. MB Geek Let's Talk says, people tell me I should not have posted my rant. I stand, not sit or kneel. That's right. Attacking me, fine, but going after a good-natured person, hell no. Not on my damn watch. We stand. We don't kneel. We don't bow. We don't curtsy. We stand. If anybody screws with us, we get in the shield wall and we kick some ass. And Az, yes, Trinoculus Feed. Don't forget Az. No, the Asda, the cult of Az. No, never forget Az. Especially not when where is it? Where is it? Az says things like this.
God, I want to punch an old woman in the face.
Yes.
God,
So,
I do love Az. He's great.
so as as was like, hey, I'd love to come on your morning show. And I was like, dude, that's great. Okay, I'll make it. We'll make it an event. And I had this opening, man, and it was like, the British bomber, and all this, fanfare and Buckingham Palace, and I do the intro, and he gets on, and he's like, yeah.
He is so animated, and it's he actually makes watching him review Batwoman, which is like a 4-letter word for me, entertaining. I mean, I've never watched the show. I don't want to watch the show, especially after watching Az talk about it. But shit, is he funny to watch talk about it?
Yeah, it's one of those. How do you do that? And you'll do it. You'll do it. You cover Disney, so trust me.
Those streams he does on Batwoman are like 45 minutes long. Sometimes they're longer than the damn show. I don't know how he gets through it.
You just have to you have to have fun. Even when you're watching, you have to have fun in just how bad it is.
I know.
I got a message from one of our fellow creators, Eris of Chaos, saying, "Hey, would you like to review Batwoman?" And I'm like, "Why? Why?" And trust me, we'll take the piss out of it, and we'll make fun of it. And I'm like, "But why?" And I did it. And Mondays we usually do it. But man, it's the first time I saw her rappel inside of a sewer, an enclosed sewer with no way out. She held up her grappling gun and grappled out of the sewer, even though it was a sewer tunnel. I just said, you know what? Fuck it. It's okay. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this.
Was that the Ruby Rose one or the 2.0 version now?
No, that's the 2.0 version. I never watched the Ruby Rose. I watched one episode, and I think that was ETEP's review. And I just was like, wow, this is complete shit. And I've reviewed the second season with Eris of Chaos, and yeah, it's complete shit.
I don't know how y'all do it. That's got to be a slog.
You just you take the piss out of it. You have to.
Oh yeah.
You have to.
Definitely.
And you'll get it because, dude, the way you're going. I know you talk about Star Wars a lot, and they're going to make some shitty Star Wars shows.
No doubt.
Disney.
I think you've got, what is that? What's the one coming out? The cartoon one, is it Visions? Coming out later this year. I think it's Visions is the first one of that animated, but not including the Bad Batch coming out May 4th. I still actually expect that to be pretty good because that comes right out of Filoni's existing universe. I think that should be pretty good. I don't know how much wokeness they're going to try to inject into that. Hopefully little to none, but we'll see.
Well, you've got my sympathy, sir. I just can't do Disney anymore. I can't.
I understand. I totally understand.
I'll talk shit about them all day. I'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll talk about Disney. I just won't. I can't review a product. And that's one of those things that I never thought I'd say is I can't review a product. Especially a Star Wars product. I've got all the EU books. Me and you have never sat down and talked Star Wars. I've got all the EU books. I've read all the EU books from before the Purge, the Great Jedi Purge. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars all my life, and the fact that they're making it almost impossible to love Star Wars now is it's maddening.
Yeah, by and large, because especially you think you have, if you believe the rumors, which I think based on evidence that we know to be factual, I think it lends a lot of credence to the rumors that you kind of have somewhat of a civil war. Oh, go ahead. Let me let you get that one.
Eric Sullivan with a $20 super chat. I am what's wrong with Star Wars fandom. I reject real Star Wars. Freed me from Catholicism as a kid in the 70s, introducing me to Eastern spirituality. Yet Disneyfied Star Wars, and now we're wondering what went wrong. Don't buy it. I completely agree. Eric Sullivan. Do you remember when they made Jedi a religion? The Force a religion. Thank you so very much for that $20 super chat, brother. Skull!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Thank you so very much, guys. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. And Rambling Canuck, really quick, I hereby reserve you in 2022 for Picard. Asshole. Oh, you asshole. Yeah, I said I'd do it, so I'll do it.
So you're going to do reviewing season 2 of Picard?
Oh, yeah, I did the first one. And that's how me and Canuck met. He was on the other side. He was like, no, I like it. And I was like, I fucking hate it. And how can you like it? How can you hate it? And we butted heads, dude. And it was like watching Kirk and Spock fight each other on Vulcan. Dun, 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 dun. And dude, it was just a death match of, screaming at each other on PJ's Orville Nation. And he's like, you said Patrick Stewart should die. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Well, somebody on this panel did. Well, it wasn't fucking me. And dude, it was the epic fight of 2020,
man.
And look, we're best friends, and I love his show History with R&R. He loves coming on here. And that's the beautiful thing about the fandom, is that it doesn't matter what fandom, not just the Fandom Menace, but any fandom, is that if it's true, you can have a fight to the death with somebody over something that you love or hate. And at the end of the day, walk away going, you made some good points. Well, you made some good points too. And everything's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, is that people should be able to have intelligent adult conversations without it devolving into, one side really wanting to just destroy or cancel these days the other. I mean, it's okay to disagree on things. I haven't had the stomach to watch any of the new Trek, to be honest. At first I was like, oh, Patrick Stewart's coming back as Jean-Luc Picard. I kind of got excited about it. And then, I didn't have CBS All Access. I wasn't running out to get it. It was kind of one of those things where I said, I'm going to wait till all the episodes drop, and then I'll go burn a free trial or something and start watching. By the time I got to that point, everybody was like, oh God, stay away from it. It's shit. It's don't watch it. And I'm like, oh, please don't tell me they did this to no, not to Picard. No. And since then I haven't had the heart to watch it. And that's kind of where I've been with it.
You watch TNG though?
Oh God, yes.
Okay,
I was a huge TNG fan. Yeah.
Imagine this giant tulip in space takes out a Borg cube. A giant tulip in space.
Okay.
Takes out a fucking flower. Takes out a Borg cube. I am not kidding.
Like literally a flower.
A flower from a hippie android planet. From a planet full of androids, and they're all hippies. Peace, love, dope. They're all tree-hugging hippie, and they make giant flowers that took out a Borg cube. That's all you got to say. That's Picard in a nutshell.
Wow. Yeah, no, I was a huge TNG fan. In fact, I mean, I remember my father and I, when I was growing up, we used to love watching that. I mean, every week when it would come on, back from the first episode that started in 87 and all the way up through 94, and loved the show, enjoyed it, because my dad was a big classic Trek fan.
Yep.
His best friend growing up was a massive Trekkie. And I remember going over to his house sometimes with my dad, and oh, good God, the Star Trek stuff he had. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, that was a fond memory, the characters and everything else. And And then, when they started talking about bringing it back and all the TNG crew coming back to do Picard, like I said, I got so excited. And then I started hearing about it. And I, by that point, we were deep into woke culture that was infecting every single aspect of TV and movies. So I had my concerns, and then everybody just seemed to confirm it for me before I watched an episode. And I don't have the heart to do it. I'm not gonna let that sour my memory of TNG, and that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like if I watch Picard, it's going to wreck my childhood memories of TNG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, all you got to do is look at what happened to Star Wars. Just look at what happened to Star Wars, and they go back and they retcon things that you love, and they make Luke look like a girl, and they want to remake the trilogy, the OT with a chick as Luke Skywalker, and we're gonna make Luke a girl. And it'll be, the sisters, the Skywalker sisters. And you're like, what in the fuck are you people?
Yeah. Starring Brie Larson and shit like that or whatever. It's like, I understand why that people like Kathy Kennedy want to do this, because that's what they believe everybody thinks. It's such an insular groupthink society. It's so incestuous out there in Hollywood. And they think that the rest of the country, either thinks just like them or damn well should just think like them. And they push this out, and I think they truly believe to an extent that this is what people want. And if they just put it out there, that the revenues will flow in. And it kind of going back to the earlier point with, should I support Star Wars at all, or should I support the things that I like? I understand that don't support anything of it, and don't buy any of it, and don't watch any of it. I completely get that, especially after how we've been treated. But I kind of where I'm at has been, I feel like if we have guys in there who are trying their level best, guys like Favreau, that I believe he's a pretty apolitical animal. I mean, he doesn't dive into all this crap. He just wants to make good movies and tell good stories, I think, at the end of the day. And I think he's trying to. I think a lot of this is going to hinge whether or not Kathy Kennedy gets renewed later this year, and I've been saying that for months. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But I've tried to say, you know what, if they make something that is truly good, then I feel like as fans, go ahead. It's okay to support that, because it tells an even bigger story just from a business perspective. I'm a business guy. It tells a bigger story from a business perspective, when they can see that, well, people are still buying the crap out of classic Star Wars. And look how they changed just the toy lines, right? You don't see any toys or merchandise from sequel trilogy stuff anymore. That's gone. That's off the shelves. They couldn't sell that shit. What are they going back to? They went back to Mandalorian. They went back to classic Star Wars because that stuff sells. So that money, that revenue, voting with your wallet, it tells a very powerful story. So I'm a big advocate for that. So if there's good Star Wars out there, go support it, because you're kind of at a crossroads at this point to where we can either let it all burn to the ground, or if we have a chance by supporting the good stuff that's still out there, if we want to try to save it. But I understand both sides of the fence, for where people are, because look, we've been kicked in the balls. I don't know how many times at this point since Disney's taken it over. So, but hopefully they get a better message coming out of this. Hopefully something will turn. And I think, again, voting with your wallet, I think, tells a big story, to Disney, to see what's going on.
It does. And Comic Book Creation Live with the $5 super chat. Love Star Trek. Been catching up with Voyager and Deep Space Nine for the past few months. I won't watch the new stuff. Well, Comic Book Creation Live, this one is just for you. Skol! And he's like scooting around. I don't know if you notice that ever when you see him spinning around in that chair. If you watch, you can see his body shift as his leg is like kicking himself around in a circle, because that was all improv. They hadn't planned on him doing that. Zygote or not with a $2 super chat. God bless Christopher Plummer. Says frag Disney until KK's out of the picture. I could not agree more. Psychodorf 9, brother. And we'll give you a little Star Wars since you mentioned KK. Skull! The greatest thing Disney ever did with Star Wars is that scene with Vader. In my humble opinion, as the morning show host, the best scene they ever did was that one with Vader, and they cut an even better scene on the beach. There's a storyboard showing what they were going to do with Vader, and everything from taking down. He takes down one of those split wing assault ships. I forget what they call it, a U-wing. They had a U-wing, I think it was. A U-wing. He deflects a blaster bolt, holds it, throws his lightsaber up, and cuts this U-wing in half with his lightsaber, and like brings it down on the beach. And you're like, and you cut this? You son of a bitches, cut this? There's too much Vader. Are you fucking kidding me? Too much Vader?
I don't think there's ever too much Vader.
My God, what is wrong with you, Disney?
Well, I had not heard that story, but yeah, that Vader. Look, Rogue One really was, I think, definitely that was the best thing they made, and crazy enough, that was another one of those typical KK stories where she couldn't hold a director, and they started reshooting in the middle of it and all this kind of stuff, and that's one of the things that I think. Money talks the loudest. So that's one of the biggest disasters KK has been for Lucasfilm and by extension, Disney. The money that she manages to just piss away is unfathomable. I mean, if you start going back and looking at all the reshoots for every movie she's had her hands in, except for, I think The Last Jedi was the only one because she was so in love with Rian Johnson and the crap he was going to fart out. She just let him go. But you look at the other movies, they did so many reshoots, so many director replacements. It's had to have cost them hundreds and hundreds of millions of extra dollars. And of course, the revenues when it got to the box office just weren't there to back it up. So I think that's a big part of hopefully what plays into her downfall. And of course, the complete bomb of the High Republic. And it kind of goes back to the whole woke stuff. If all these people on Twitter, that were slamming the traditional Star Wars fans, if they really were out there in droves, then why the hell isn't things like the High Republic selling like hotcakes? Yeah. Hashtags and tweets don't pay the bills, folks. Paying fans do. So, and I think that's one of the things that hopefully Disney is starting to realize that, everything she's touching is basically just falling apart. And regardless of what politics they want to inject in things, at the end of the day, they still have to sell shit. And if it's not selling, you got to change something. So
there is. I'm trying to pull this up. I wanted to show you this because I know you gotta love what Disney did. Did you ever play any of the Star Wars games back in the day?
I think I played one or two. I don't remember which. It's been a while. I'm an old school video game guy. I mean, I still have Nintendos, Atari 2600, Super Nintendos. So.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you mean. I'm a big MAME fan. Let me share this with you real quick. I brought this to Echo Base's attention at one point. Okay, so the woman you're seeing on the left, Jan Ors, is from the Star Wars Dark Forces games. Now, she helped this guy, Kyle Katarn, steal the plans for the Death Star. So Jan Ors, Jyn Erso.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Ors helped steal the plans for the Death Star with this guy, Kyle Katarn, who happens to turn out to be a Jedi Master. He goes to Luke's academy and becomes a Jedi Master. He becomes one of the Jedi Masters on Luke's new Jedi Council. And then you've got Jyn Erso. Jan Ors, right. Jyn Erso. This is way before Disney bought Star Wars. This is what you get when Disney bought Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
and they took out the EU. They took out the EU. No, they didn't take out the EU. They cherry picked and decided, well, we're gonna do this and that. So even the things that you're like, wow, they did a good job at this. Why didn't they? Yeah, a lot of that is just shit they stole from stuff other people wrote before.
Yeah, the inexplicable decision to cancel, quote unquote, the extended universe when Kathy came in and decided, well, this isn't going to be canon anymore. But like you said, they cherry pick things. And look at what just happened the other day is Del Rey Books announces that they're going to kind of re-release, relaunch, reskin 3 real popular classic EU books. And now they're called, not Legends, but now they're calling them like the Elite Legends series. I'm like, oh, so we're one step closer to putting it back into canon now, are we? So you can see the writing on the wall. And all right, Fat Steven. I love Fat Steven, but he wants cupcakes.
Oh, and Mags with a $5 super chat as well. Loki, it's because a straight white man redeemed himself in the end because of the love he has for his son. Of course, Vader, Anakin would be too much. Yeah, you can't have either one of them around, can you? Because of
These people have it in their heads that you cannot have white, male, straight, cis, whatever the stuff they have to describe ourselves now as, you can't have that anymore for some reason. I don't know why that having that in their minds somehow is exclusive of anyone else. And then if you're not of that either skin persuasion or sexual orientation, then you have no relatability to that character. It doesn't represent you. It can't represent you. So we have to put, identity politics check boxes onto every character. I don't. These people live in a different universe. I mean, it's like I don't get it. I just don't.
And thank you, Max, for that $5 super chat. We're gonna launch some catapults here. Skull!
Nice.
Watch the SJW blue-haired land whales run. Oh shit! Watch them scatter like roaches. I heard that somewhere once. If there's ever a nuclear war, there'll be nothing left but blue-haired SJW land whales and cockroaches.
I don't know if they'd survive 5 seconds in a real war.
Oh no. Oh my God, you can't do that. It's against the conventions of no. Nope. Mm-hmm. It don't work like that. Colin P. Smith, so presumably they managed to find actual aliens to play non-human characters somehow. Yes. Absolutely. The new Alien in the Alien versus whatever movie, it's going to be real aliens. They're going to have real aliens play the aliens. So, yes.
Hey, you have to. That's where you're going, right? Everybody has to play what they are. No questions asked.
And they have to be female because you can't have a male take down a female these days. So, and Dylan Hunt fighting for the cockroaches. I don't know. It's possible. Some male toxicity. What do we do? What do we do when we to fight Disney? What do you think we do? How do we approach this battle between because they're pointing their fingers at you, at me, at other people, and saying things like ist, phobe, Yahtzee. They have labeled us and tried to shame us. How do we fight that? How do we fight that? In your opinion?
Well, I like I said, I think the best way to do it at the end of the day, and the only way you really have to do it, is to vote with your wallet. And whether that is, closing it completely, and I'm not spending a dime no matter good or bad. In this case, let's just stick with Star Wars, good or bad Star Wars, I'm not spending any money. Or it's going to be, I'm going to take a selective approach and I'm going to support the good, but I'm just going to ignore the bad or don't support it monetarily. And again, I think that sends a powerful message from that standpoint. Because look, here's my thought process on it. If I were to just simply, as a Star Wars fan, ignore everything, don't watch Mando or trash Mando, or don't watch any of the Favreau shows or the Favreau built shows that are coming out on Disney Plus and stuff like that. If I just choose to ignore everything, and the ratings for everything tanks, and the sales for every piece of merchandise, even the good stuff, tanks. Basically, you can give Kathy Kennedy an argument in that case to sit there and look at Bob Chapek and go, you know what? See, this is what I told you. Toxic fandom. They hate everything. It doesn't matter what I do as Lucasfilm CEO. They're not buying anything. So we have to start over. Versus, well, okay, the classic EU books are selling twice as much as this new High Republic shit, and it will. And the merchandise for Mando sells well. And the viewership for shows like Mando and The Bad Batch, if The Bad Batch is good, none of us have seen it yet, and other Favreau kind of helmed shows on Disney Plus, if that continues to do well, and it's mostly devoid of the woke SJW bullshit, that's going to send a stronger message, I promise you, than just hitting the, fuck it button and not watching anything. So, I understand where people's minds are at. I understand not wanting to watch anything or until Kathy's gone. I totally get that. But I want Kathy to be gone. And like I said, I just think from a business standpoint, the best way to do that is to show her bosses. And thank God, and let me say this, it's kind of weird to say this, but thank God, given the situation now, that she does have bosses, that Disney does own Lucasfilm. If she was off on her own running Lucasfilm autonomously, like Lucas just retired and gave her the shop, there would be no recourse. We'd have no recompense anywhere. We have a chance, at least, with them having a corporate overlord, in this case, Disney, to say, hey, guys, look, are you sick of losing money with this? Are you sick of hearing from the guys at Vanguard and BlackRock mutual funds and American funds and State Street, the guys that have the controlling interest of Disney stock, that they're the ones who really make the real decisions, guys, by the way. BlackRock and Vanguard alone own almost 20% of outstanding Disney shares. They got hotlines to guys like Bob Chapek. So having that financial, kind of sense in terms of, look, this is what's selling, this is what isn't selling, sends a real strong message. So I just ask everybody to bear that in mind. But at the end of the day, the decision is yours. And I completely understand if you want to walk away totally and go, I'm done with this shit.
You know about the 7 pillars, right?
You and I have talked about this briefly before. I don't remember them all 7, but I know we've talked about this.
7 pillars of diversity at Disney. What do you think about the people that believe that you get rid of Kathleen Kennedy and nothing changes? I understand that the day Kathleen Kennedy is fired, let go, walks, however it ends up happening, there is going to be a party on YouTube, the likes of which the world has never seen. It's going to there's going to be, especially over at Echo Base, guys, I will be the Ewok banging on the helmets, dun, 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 but at the end of the day, I think we're all going to wake up and it's just going to be like nothing's changed. What do you think when you hear that? I mean, go be honest, because I know what I'm doing. I'm throwing that out there because I'm one of those people that's like, it's not going to do shit. It's just we'll wake up the next day and it's going to be worse.
I think depending on the degree that you're referring to, I think you're right to an extent. I think that and let me clarify, nothing's going to change in the sense, is there still going to be some type of modern politics or wokeness that gets injected here and there? Yes, I don't think that's going to go away. I think the amount of it hopefully should and will change, because I've been saying from the beginning, the only politics that belongs in Star Wars is the rebellion versus the Empire. That's it. That's the only politics that goes in Star Wars. And when we keep injecting modern 2020 and 2021 politics into things like Star Wars that are supposed to be timeless, They're no longer timeless. You're taking that magic out of what Lucas created. So yeah, I think there's still always going to be something, but hopefully it's going to be compartmentalized to a couple of things. Like if they want to keep the High Republic running for the next 10 years to satiate the SJW crowd, for all 5 of them that are actually buying these stupid books, fine, go ahead, do it. But I think for the main, let's call it the canon at this point going forward, I think they can definitely. I think that's where you'll see the changes on the big ticket items. If they have to realize at this point, if we spend $200-300 million cutting a Star Wars, major motion picture, and we turn it into this SJW political messaging like The Last Jedi, look at what happened. They got their asses handed to them after that. I don't think they're going to be inclined to try to do that again, at least not with the big stuff. So yeah, I think you're right. Look, I don't think everything's going away, but I think it can definitely turn around and make a big change for the better. It's never going to be perfect, but I think it can get a lot better.
You know what? Before the thing happened with Gina, I completely agreed with you. I thought that as soon as I saw Luke, dude, as soon as I saw Luke at the end of Mando season 2, I was one of those people that was like, oh my God, just like breaking down live as we're checking it out. And after the thing with Gina, I was just like, you know what? I can't. And Comic Book Creation Live says it's not just her. Kathy Ard, all people like her, maybe even worse. And Lucasfilm is full of these people now, perhaps 50%. And Mags with a $5 super chat. The problem doesn't stop with KK. It's also her minions in the story group and any other sections. God, when I saw that story group for the first time, any other sections of Lucasfilm, it all needs to go to see good things. I completely agree. The first time I saw that whiteboard,
oh yeah,
diversity and inclusion are the top 2 things on our to-do list in Star Wars. Oh my God. And thank you guys so much for those super chats. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Skol!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Love that.
That was the very first skull. That's the OG skull. That's the original, great. I was like, man, how do I say thank you in a little video clip? And dollar, nobody's got a dollar. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Yeah, so to the last 2 super chats real quick, guys, you're absolutely right. And when I say Kennedy, hopefully she goes, and I'm sorry, I should have clarified. I do mean by extension, you're not going to get rid of every single employee there that she brought in. But the big one, like you said, is the story group. And I think the story group that, either they have to be completely muzzled or they need to be following her out the door. No question. Or at least you have, to where, like right now, they're supposedly tasked with setting, the overall direction for how Star Wars is going to progress. Although it does not feel like that when we see guys like Favreau doing and making the things that he is, because that doesn't seem like it's coming out of the story group. That seems like an entirely different universe. But yes, you're right. The story group, especially Pablo Hidalgo and all those kooks over there, that look at Star Wars as a simple platform to push their politics, and that's what they see. They just see a means to an end. They don't see Star Wars. They just see a big medium that they have control of. But they have to go too. No question.
Bad Steven Seagal says, "Where's my Sith spooning?"
Wow.
Pat S. I think if Adam Driver and Daisy really got married in real life, that would go a long way.
Oh. Oh, the Raylo stuff. Oh man.
Oh, the first time I heard that, I was like, they're what? They're Ray what? Raylos?
Yeah.
The fuck's a Raylo?
I didn't know what that was until probably after Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, what the shit is a Raylo?
No, it's a Raylo.
Yeah.
Side project story time. Someone think of the dinosaurs. So before we get out of here, I'm waiting on someone to pop in here. before we get out of here, because there is an announcement I would like to make before we pop off today. That person is waiting in the wings to pop on here now. Would be yes, there. Hello, Purple Valkyrie.
Good morning. Hey guys. Good morning, Valiant.
Good morning, Purple. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, today is Purple Valkyrie's birthday.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
And I know she's probably like, Loki, you son of a bitch. You said you weren't going to tell anybody. Well, I lied. So we're going to sing. Well, I'm going to sing. I don't know if you want to do this, Valiant. You're more than welcome to join me. We're going to sing happy birthday to
Of course, I start
Purple
coughing
Valkyrie.
now.
I'm going to go drink of water. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Purple Valkyrie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Purple. Thank you so very much for being a part of Valhalla. Thank you so very much for helping, because Purple does a lot of shit behind the scenes that nobody knows about. I wouldn't get half the shit done that I needed to get done if it wasn't for Purple. So thank you so much, and happy birthday, Purple.
Thank you. Thank you both. And thank you to the
Indeed. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Valhalla. Love to you all.
And all the big birthday wishes. Happy birthday, Bonnie Lass from Eric O'Sullivan. Happy birthday from Gun Bunny. And many more from Trinoculus B. Many more from Chris Bergia. Bat Stevens says jingle bells, jingle all the way. Yeah, wrong thing. Psychodorf 9, KK Inner Influence need to go the way. Yes. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Happy birthday from Rambling Canuck, from Psychodorf 9, from Keely Chow. Let's go. From Keely Chow. Happy birthday from the Gesture of Sin. Happy birthday, Purple. Thank you so much from all of Valhalla. Thank you. And you have a great birthday today. Don't let anybody bring you down. You have a kick-ass birthday.
No,
Indeed.
Well, thank you, guys.
Go play some beach volleyball.
Good idea.
We may have more beach volleyball on PC coming soon.
There you go.
Since Loki hijacked his VPN and got onto the Steam Singapore servers and downloaded Extreme Beach Volleyball for Steam, which I did not know was even on there. So I was like, what? It's on Steam? No, it's not. I've never seen it on Steam. Yeah, you got to log in on the Singapore server.
Yeah. I have to change my VPN.
Yeah. And yes, please subscribe to Valliant Renegade, guys. Valliant Renegade got up this morning, and I know some people are in different time zones. I don't know if you're Central, if you're West Coast, if you're East, but thank you for getting up. I know some people, not everybody likes to get up in the morning. Some people are like, do you know what time that is? Yes, I know. And you're YouTubers. I get it. You're used to being up all night and sleeping all day. But when anybody takes the time to come on in the morning show, I appreciate it. Thank you so very much, Valiant, for being here.
Oh, absolutely. And again, thanks for having me here. No, I'm usually up at this time of day. Like I said, I got 3 kids running around. They're different ages, going to school. So this week they just they're off for the Easter break, and so it's got me in a little bit different of a rhythm to where I can do this, because normally between 8 and 9 I'm usually listening to your show, but I'm running around. I've got the phone like with YouTube queued up, listening to your show as I'm bouncing around the house, getting in the car, driving kids to different schools, stuff like that. So it's nice to actually, I'm sitting here watching the show and being on the show today. It's very, very different. I probably won't get this opportunity too many times, so I'm glad we were able to work this out this week.
Heck yeah. And I'm so happy you got a chance to come on here and hang out with us. Guys, Valiant has a cool YouTube channel. The reviews he's been doing, I absolutely love sitting down, especially like after running around with Echo Base and listening to some Star Wars reviews from Valiant. He's got a good view on the fandom, guys, and he's still got hope. That's one thing that is very important, is still having hope in the fandom. still having hope that things can change. I think that's up to us. It really is. It's up to us, supporting independent content creators, showing the big corporations like Disney that if you want Star Wars to be successful, you have to love the IP. You have to love the product. You can't just go, well, we're going to make it ours and we're going to turn it into this and it's going to be something that's never been before. No, you have to love what came before and you have to love what you're doing and love what you're working on. It's one of the reasons why I love Favreau so much, is you can tell through The Mandalorian. The man loves Star Wars. The man loves what Star Wars was. The man loves what Star Wars could be. And that hope is alive somewhere at Lucasfilm. So thank you, Valliant, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us today. We've got Adega Outlaw up with us later tonight on 7 Kinds of Mischief. Valliant, what do you got going? Do you have anything coming up? Anything you'd like to talk about?
Let's see. I've got a few things in the hopper here. I'm going to try to knock out before the weekend. But one of the things that I was going to discuss in the next video, and my Star Wars videos always seem to be the most popular, but you don't want to talk just about Star Wars. But a little message to Hollywood. I think they're missing the boat on this theatrical release versus the streaming stuff. And I think Godzilla vs. Kong really made a dent in that. And it goes a long way to prove that people are dying to get back to the theaters if we just feed them what they want. Good movies. So I'm probably going to do a bit on that here in the next day or two.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when Hollywood comes out with something that you can sit back and you can enjoy that isn't stuffed full of shit.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Oh God.
And
they've forgotten. They have totally forgotten.
Yeah, and when something like this comes along and it's such an anomaly, well, guys, it's not an anomaly. The people just cared about what they were doing. So thank you, everyone. We will see you later tonight. Everyone have a great morning. Thank you again, Valliant, for being here. Happy birthday, Purple Valkyrie. And we will catch you guys later.
Take care.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.